you draw what a blind man sees. In the Daredevil comics written by Mark Waid and with art by Paolo Rivera and Marcus Martin, we get a glimpse of that. The character Daredevil is a blind vigilante superhero, which is a really awesome concept for a comic book. The main character, Matt Murdock, has suffered a radioactive accident when he was younger, which has left him blind. He now has altered senses, and they're like super senses now. So he has super smell and hearing and taste, and he's developed this radar sense to compensate for not being able to see. So he can feel things like differences in air pressure and wind and stuff, and kind of pick up where things are in the room and how far away they are, and it's really awesome. Matt can also recognize people by scent alone, and he can tell if you're lying by listening to your heartbeat. How's that for a lie detector test? In the opening scenes of these comics from the 2011 to 2014 series, we see Matt kind of showing up at a wedding and scoping it out as his alter ego Daredevil. And it just draws and is a lot of Matt telling you what he's seeing and sensing and how he sees the world, and it is a really cool thing. I also like the way that they draw everything. They draw what Matt's seeing as this like contoured art, and it's a really cool thing. I like the way that they depict it all. That was probably not the best, but like crazy villain there going on. So Matt uses his super abilities to become the vigilante Daredevil and to help protect his city of Hell's Kitchen, New York. Matt Murdock's day job is an attorney, and he's returning to New York after being away, and there's some complications from his past. So these comics are building off the last set or run of comics, and they mention what's going on, what happened in the previous comics, but there isn't a lot of flashback or details that you need to know everything that happened. So I'm stepping into these comics never having read Daredevil before, and all I know about Daredevil is what was on the Netflix series. So it was fine not knowing that stuff. So don't feel like you have to know all of Daredevil stuff. Because they're taking up his past and stuff, we get to see some really interesting aspects of Daredevil. So New York kind of knows that he's Daredevil at this point. So there's a couple pages of people like going, "Oh, hey, Daredevil," and he's like, "No, man, I'm just Matt Murdock. I'm not Daredevil. What? No." And he attempts to go into court as a lawyer and defend somebody, and he gets discredited because he's Daredevil. So clearly he's lying and you can't trust him, and the guy needs to get a different lawyer because of that. So Matt ends up actually coaching this guy and teaching him how to represent himself in court instead. And that becomes how Matt and Foggy run their law practice from that point on, is teaching other people how to represent themselves in court, coaching them on how they should talk, what they should wear, what defense they should use, and they also help them find the evidence and compile a strong case, and they just go into the courtroom by themselves so that Matt's past isn't bogging down their cases. This book has 3 story arcs, basically. The first one involves a police brutality case, and it's kind of just the introduction to who Daredevil is and how he operates and what Matt's values are. The second one involves a villain, Claw, where sound plays a really big part of the villain's plan, and also how Daredevil works. Because he can't see, he relies on sound a lot. So that one was super awesome. And the third one is probably my favorite, and it involves Matt representing a blind client who has been fired from his job kind of without any reason. And just seeing the difference between a normal blind person, I guess, versus super radioactive powered Matt Murdock. I'm really getting to see the differences there, and also how they see the world. They're both characters who are like, oh, this thing happened to me, or this, I'm differently abled, but still try their hardest and really go out there and try to prove that they are just as capable as anybody else. I like this book. It is super cool. It's like a 4 out of 5 stars. There is my book review for Daredevil. I love you guys. Peace out.